Hi everyone, welcome back to First Impressions. Again, I'm your host, Miss Bob the Drag Queen, and today, reviewing episode 3 with me, I am joined by my predecessor, the queen who crowned me. Please welcome Miss Violet Chachki.
Hello! Thank you so much for having me, Bob. It is an honor to be here.
Oh, I love you. I'm very excited. Okay, first of all, I wanted to get you last week for the fetish shoot, but you actually pointed out something. This makes more sense because it includes all of the things. You are a cabaret artist, you are a fashion girl, and you've been critiqued by many judges. So
I'm also a stand-up comedian, so it really does. It's like, the complete circle of performance.
So please go check out Violet's new stand-up special on Amazon Prime.
Girl, you will talk about your Amazon special till it'll be on your gravestone.
Until I make my money back, I'm gonna keep it.
Please stream Large Woman.
Please stream my shit. Please. I need this, please. Let's get started. Okay, so let's talk about this. I'm gonna just get into this hot tub fantasy. Nikki Monet has this energy. It's very like that old. By the way, I think she's younger than me, but she has the energy of the old queen who works in the club, who smokes cigarettes, and is like, "I'm gonna give it to you straight."
Well, a lot of people are younger than you, so let's start with that.
Oh, she is a comedian.
B, you know what? She reminds me of the queens from Atlanta, the girls who sort of raised me, who take it very seriously and are confrontational and are aggressive. Even when they're giving you a compliment, it feels like a bit of an attack. You know what I mean?
You were mostly good tonight, finally.
Yeah, and that's where I get it from. So it resonates with me, Miss Thing.
And so they're in this tub. I have a soft spot for Tyrese, but they were in the tub, and I feel like they were very naive. At one point, they were like, I thought that because I think they think that because Nikki Monet and Tyrese are both under the trans umbrella, that they'll just get along automatically. And I'm like, bitch, that's not how
it typically doesn't work like that.
Also, Nikki Monet had that thing. It's very Laganja Estrada. She was like, you did a thing. You did something. I think you closed your eyes.
What? I don't know if it was me or you or what, but there was something that I was maybe picking up on.
I could not believe that Nikki Monet had the nerve to point at Tyrese and say, you should have gone home.
Well, it wasn't even, because they were all had their backs turned walking away. I feel like she just sort of half-assed it. I was like, well, that wasn't even a real confrontation. I mean, she did point, but it was like, no, bitch. I'm talking, look into the eyes. Like, I want to ignore.
Grab them by the arm.
Yeah. If you're gonna be a bad bitch, then be a bad bitch. It would have to be subtitled.
Violet's like, if you're gonna be a bad bitch, commit assault.
No, literally. I mean, girl.
There seems to be, in my opinion, Nikki is a little bit confrontational, but she's like, everyone's coming for me. I'm like, I don't know, Nikki. You're the one who was saying that, this person shouldn't have gone home. That person should have gone home instead of the other person. You're the I feel like Nikki's picking up what she's putting out.
She's projecting.
I also love this cute little moment in the middle where Kane tries to have a little, Oprah moment in the middle of the hot tub, and they're like, anyway, we were fighting.
Oh, that. As queers, as people of color, we're all marginalized. Let's stand together. And they're like, yeah. Anyways, bitch. Like I was saying.
It was literally like, child, anyway.
But it's very, I get that though, because it's like, well, bitch, ain't nobody here we're not marginalized here, bitch, we're all queer. So, bitch, there's gonna be drama with inside. Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, girl, yeah, we were out in public.
One time, me and my friend Mateo were fighting at a restaurant. Mateo will gag this in there. Me and Mateo were fighting at a restaurant, and then my friend Nick tried to defuse the situation, and it was awkward silence. And Nick was like, and I was like, I don't need you to defuse this. Let us sit in awkwardness.
And sit in it, yeah. Well, it's very Mimi I'm First on All Stars. I think it's highly inappropriate, and we are sitting here bullying each other. And they're like, Mama, no one's bullying. Who said anything? Who said anything about bullying? We're not bullying.
Child. Anyway, so all right. So now they move on to the foreplay challenge. This week's foreplay challenge is this like, okay, this is not my favorite foreplay challenge. They have to like ride this rubber
Girl,
rooster, this cockroach.
It's not even rubber, bitch. That's the kind of prize you get at the fair when you knock all the bottles over.
True.
I was picturing, because for my show, I want to get a mechanical bull that is shaped like
work.
So that's in the works. So probably don't put this in because somebody's gonna steal it. But I was like, oh great.
Can you just bleep it out and just wonder what it is?
I was picturing it was going to be like that. I was like, oh, bitch, they got a mechanical bull. They're about to ride this in the ring. They stole my idea. I was like, oh, maybe it's like a zeitgeist thing, and like, you know, it makes sense. Mm-hmm. No, bitch. They pan to a literal plushie toy. Well, they had two of them though, so
which is good.
This is nice.
So, how would you have done? How would you have felt doing this? This chicken riding challenge?
Well, I feel like I would have done it the way Cameron did it, and he kind of turned it into like, to me, he was giving very Abercrombie and Fitch 90s model vibes, like
very
flinging the hair and still modeling and still posing, and then being sexy with the plushie. But
plushie, I love
like,
we're calling it a plushie.
Well, it was, but still like giving glam. Like I was still getting model vibes. I was still getting cheekbones, which is it's hard not to. So I think
turned the Beanie Baby into something very a high fashion Beanie Baby.
I wanted to buy the plushie. You know, he was selling it. It was modeling, which is what I would have done.
So I love that Nikki is doing this. Like Nikki has subverted gender roles several times in the show. And I love that she's like, yeah, I'm a trans woman, but I am topping this fucking plushie. Like, I love that, which probably people are expecting because people forget there are some trans women who are top.
Only top.
Nikki Monet, yeah, Nikki Monet. I was like, T.S. Madison is somewhere shaking in her boots because, you know, Nikki Monet is coming for that gig, Miss Thing.
No, but that's a real thing. I mean, that is a real thing, and if you don't have a lot of trans women friends, you probably wouldn't know that. But no, a lot of trans women prefer to be tops, and a lot of drag queens as well. I think you're one of them.
I am one of the ones.
I think, no question. Since we're on the subject, you've topped someone in drag fully?
I've never topped anyone in drag.
What?
I have one in drag hookup experience. One time, a long time ago, I sucked a dick in the bathroom at Lucky Chang's. That was
at Lucky Chang's?
Girl, during a dinner service.
You were on the clock.
Girl, between chicken tenders and sodas.
Bitch, she was saying, would you like a blowjob shot? Would you like a daiquiri? Here are your fries well done. Meet me in the back.
There was this one tray that used to come in, and he was like, maybe like 45, 50, somewhere between 45 and 55.
Wait.
Kind of like,
you said one trade, right?
Yeah, this one.
I heard twink.
Trade.
Oh my god, I was like,
no,
a 45-year-old twink.
No, we're not talking about Anderson Cooper. There was this one particular like daddy trade, and I'm not really into muscly guys, but he was kind of muscly. I was like, you know what, girl, I have one table, I have time. let's have fun, right? So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this guy in here, and I'm gonna.
Was it the broom closet?
It was there. We had a handicap bathroom, so I hope there was no one. But you had to get a key to use the handicap bathroom.
God.
Otherwise, you had to go upstairs. So I was like, let me go ahead and grab this guy. Because he comes in, he just kind of stands around. If you ever go to Lucky Chang's is closed now. But the way I worked at Lips.
It's like a similar...
Yeah. The way it works is if you come into the dinner area, you are here for a drag show. If you hang out at the bar, you are looking to fool around with some sort of a queen, all right?
Okay.
So I pulled him into the room and I blew him, but it just wasn't... I couldn't do all the stuff I wanted to do. I had work to do. I had lipstick on. I had makeup. I couldn't get down. I don't want shit dripping all down my face. I've always said sucking dick should be like eating chicken wings. My eyes are watering.
I've heard this before.
Running. Yeah. So
well, that's why I feel like being the top in drag works better, because then if someone's sucking you off while you're in drag, then you get to keep the glam on. Because
It is true. I've never had the opportunity.
That's why I feel like you being a top and being in drag would work. Because I'm not.
Jacob or Ezra, would you like to? I'm just kidding.
I'm sure they would.
I never did, but I'm not saying no. Listen, I've learned to not say no to everything. So who knows? Maybe one day. But so far in my life, I've only had that one sucking dick experience in drag. But however, I digress. Anyway, so I love that she was able to shed light on that amazing woman. Also,
yes,
the Destroyers just look so. Sophie's wig is so laid.
I love them. I love them so much. This whole episode, they looked incredible, and I love the range. Mama, the range of the look.
The range.
It's range. It's range, and it's giving me fantasy. And there's different versions of. I love it.
Cameron's like, it's just this notion that Cameron's like, I'm being so brave.
Oh no, it was so. What was she being brave about though? Like being silly.
Yeah, Cameron was like, you know what? I just know that if I go up there. And if I can just be a little silly. I'm like, Mama, it's riding a fucking plushie.
It's a mini challenge.
It's like when Kimora was on stage, she was like, I've never gone out without my pads before, and everyone's like, not all heroes wear capes. Like, girl, it's
or pads.
Get on this fucking plushie, ride the thing, and get off of it, and move on to the next thing, Mama.
I like that Cameron did this challenge and made it look like an Abercrombie and Fitch 90s catalog shoot with a plushie. Like, I like that she kind of made it her own, whereas everyone else was like, I'm gonna be the most outrageous, and la la la. Like, I like that he was like, well, I don't do this, so I'm just gonna do this, but I'm gonna do it how I want to do it, and whatever.
I mean, it was fine. I don't think it was the best. I preferred either Tyrese. I will say this.
Tyrese is just so cute.
It's just the most adorable, the cutest little butt. I mean, the moves were a little sporadic. Like, it was a little bit more like, reel it in, Mama, reel it in.
Well, it was bouncing. There was lots of bouncing.
So I think I would probably, if I was one of the Destroyers, I would have probably given it to Nikki, because I love that she flipped it on his head. She did something that literally no one else was doing. And also she looks good wet. Like, when she's wet, she looks sexy. Like she's the one who just looks good. Hosed down. You know
I don't know. That was a lot of narrative. I like the role reversal. I like the flipping, but that's a lot of narrative to give a plushie. Like, you're giving this way more weight than it needs to have. Like, thinking about
the social implications, the storyline,
literally,
the plot.
Like, you are really giving this plushie a narrative, girl.
Oh, girl, the plushie's coming back for All Stars, Slag Wars All Stars.
She is the Ornacia of Slag Wars.
So Cameron has won, which is fine. It's a mini challenge. Also, it didn't seem to come with a prize. Like, he just won,
and then what?
Also, there's no prize for the show. So
I was gonna ask that.
So now we're outside. Nikki's having her smoke break, and Tyrese walks up and is so sweet, and they're just like, I want to make sure that we're on good terms. So I just want to be good with you. And Nikki's like, all right, listen. Like, that's how she talks. But she has that like, all right, listen to me, kid. I've seen life. I'm gonna give it to you straight, kid. It's like, very Waffle House waitress. Welcome to Waffle House.
Well, it's the kind where they stand, you're at the table, and the grill is behind them, and they're between you and the grill. You know what I mean? They just walk up to the table.
The Atlanta is jumping out.
Yeah, right and the ash is falling into the fucking grit.
It's your food, your drink. All right, ashing into your sweet tea.
What do you have?
Hurry up. So I love as they're going into the scene, the soundtrack. I mean, me and Alaska touched on it last week. This soundtrack, I found out Jan is singing. Jan Sport from Drag Race Season 12 is singing, and she's going, smoking is bad. Like, okay, in Nikki's defense, I don't know what Tyrese is saying in the house, but in these confessionals, Tyrese has mentioned that they are non-binary. I think every 5 minutes on the clockwork.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Nikki's like, I didn't know.
How do you? And then I feel like they had to do like an introduction. I mean, I didn't watch the first episodes, but I feel like there had to be some sort of like, I'm so and so. I prefer they them. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
I know they said it to Kevin, who's gone home at this point. again, there is a chance that maybe Nikki genuinely didn't hear it, but it feels like everyone within a 5-mile radius of the Slag House knows that Tyrese is non-binary. But on the off chance that they didn't, she's like, all right, we're good now. We're cool. But also, even if they're not non-binary, don't be mean. Don't be mean.
She was like, it just feels like all the gay guys are friends. And they were like, hold up, sweetheart. Let's get it together before you want to read. I am non-binary, darling. And it was a dramatic moment. And Nikki,
I mean, she was basically like, it's all you men.
Literally, no, literally not.
All these big men.
Ash.
In your sweet tea. So they end up like wrapping up their little thing, and now we're moving on to the cabaret.
Okay, the fact that it says Cabaret.
Oh,
I'm done.
When I looked, it was like Cabaret. Did that say Cabaret? So, you know what? Listen, I had a very famous misspelling of sibling rivalry in the UK. Maybe there's something about being in the UK and having to spell things, but listen, that took me out.
Cabaret.
So they actually made it very clear on this show that they do not judge the looks on this show. But I've made it very clear that I am judging them here at First Impressions. So let's talk about the judges. Okay, we're being joined by Bag of Chips, who is a finalist in RuPaul's Drag Race UK. Mm-hmm. She is very beloved in the London scene. She's huge. They love her there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, top 2 of the week. Rebecca looks amazing.
Agreed.
Like I love her. Okay, I
love
identify with Rebecca. I feel like I'm a Rebecca. She's very pragmatic. She's not super emotional. She's like, let's get the job done.
Matter of fact, yeah.
Are you a Rebecca or are you a Sophie?
Honestly, I want to be a Sophie, but I know at heart I'm a Rebecca.
I'm not gonna lie, Bag of Chips. I don't know if this is the best dress you could have worn.
Probably not. You know, I think a nice B is how I like to go with things, to give it that long look.
It wasn't the worst look, but it's not. This is not Becca's best look.
To be fair, they said cabaret looks, and she probably thought, oh, I've got that little fringe dress. I'll just pull that out of my closet.
Okay, let's talk about Nikki's look first off. Nikki is wearing this tuxedo. She's wearing this tuxedo moment. The only thing I don't like about this look is this hat is humongous.
What? I love that.
To me, it looks like one of those hats that you get, you know, on St. Patrick's Day, when those huge foam hats.
Mm-hmm. The thing that bothers me is she takes the hat off and the hair is so little. Like, I love when I do this, I just make up numbers. I'm like, well, let's just read you the entire number. And she had all her hair up in the hat, 'cause it's so big. And then she takes the hat off and it's just like,
oh, that would have been stunned.
Because
if a full piece would have came out of that hat, that would have been everything.
Like a wig reveal, because when she takes it off, because I get it like this because it gives shapes and it gives proportions, but when she takes it off, it's so sleek and little. I just wish it was bigger. But I do like that she went with latex and tuxedo, because it kind of, she's thinking, and I appreciate that. Like, okay, Destroyers, latex, cabaret, D-trick, you know, emerging the two.
Yeah,
I like the thought.
And I love this. Okay, I thought it was burlesque. You were like, burlesque? I mean,
well, she was giving I don't know. There's different ideas of what burlesque is and what burlesque isn't. For me, it was more cabaret vibes. Like, the whole bit is a bit cabaret, but it's burlesque. I mean, it's the same shit. I'm just being annoying for no reason.
I thought Nikki's performance was really good. Like, this little cartwheel. First of all, the reveals, the burlesquing out of latex pants. That's something to clap about.
It's hard. I mean, I don't think people realize the engineering that goes into a tearaway strip costume like this, unless you actually do it. But it is difficult to figure out how all this shit's gonna come off in like a graceful and elegant way. And that's a lot. I mean, that's when you get sweaty in that material, the vinyl, and it kind of starts sticking to your body. I mean, it's hard.
She did a cartwheel, and during the cartwheel, she took off her top. I don't even know how you do that. because you need your hands to do the cartwheel.
I guess she landed. I don't know. It was good.
It was sick. So Kane is wearing this like big oversized jacket. It says "Quit Queerbaiting" on the back. It has a bunch of like prize, like second and first place prizes all over it.
I love
with
it.
this cute little dunce hat. This is so cute. Kane gets competition.
Well, like
Kane.
This is giving me model. Like in the confessionals, he has like a Caesar cut, and it gives me very like Twink Down the Block. But even the shot that I'm looking at right now of him in this like pink walkway, he looks like he's on like a Tom Brown runway, and it's very London, very Central St. Martin's, but I love it. I think it's great. It's whimsical. It gives fashion. It's a look. He seems confident in it. So for me, it's almost top two.
I'm not saying it's a cakewalk for him, but he is not struggling and walking through mud to go through this competition. And let's talk about this roast. So the roast was pretty, I mean, these jokes weren't groundbreaking, but Kane had really good delivery, and Kane knew when to not go too far. I think that Sweet, what's his name? There are points when I was like, girl,
too much.
And we'll get to Cameron in a second.
Yeah.
But I think that Kane did just the perfect amount.
That's what you don't want to do too much. You want to you want to be cheeky, you want to be cute, you want to be fun. You want to have them some good laughs in so they go, oh, that was good, and not bombard them with a bunch of stuff where they don't even like. I don't even really know what to think of Cameron's because it was a lot.
And now let's look at Tyrese, my baby. Okay, let's look at Tyrese. I mean, this look is not groundbreaking, but it is sexy. This is so sexy. This is very sexy.
It's not groundbreaking, but the way, I don't think it's necessarily about the look, because the way they moved, when they were dancing, I was like, non-binary, got it. Like it made total sense. The look makes total sense. When they were, even just like the opening of the legs, I was like, well, who is that? Like,
it was great.
I didn't even know. I was like, wait, who's on right now? Because like it didn't even register that this was them. So I love that. Like that was, and then I was like, oh, girl, okay.
I see what you mean. Now, I will say, this was a drag number with no makeup. All that being said, it was lip syncing. There were cooter slams. There was that old trick where the drag queens grab onto the rafters. It was great. And my thought process is, if Tyrese would have, you know what? How Tyrese could have really fucked the judges up? If Tyrese would have came out in full geesh, being like, "Oh, y'all didn't know a motherfucker could do both," that would have knocked them the fuck over.
True.
Now, granted, everyone can't just go do drag.
You know what I mean? But even if there was like, you could put a lip. I feel like with this face, a lash, a lip, and a lovely human hair unit would have sufficed beautifully. And it would have had more impact.
The moves were great.
The moves were great. There was one part where they jumped off the stage and landed into a split, and the booty was looking...
Oh my... I was... Mitch, you have to pull this up on the screen. I was literally... When they jumped, I was like, that incredible edible ass looks amazing.
The body...
It looked so good.
Well, I was genuinely like, oh, we're doing all of this. Which is a good...
She really came that way.
She really came that way. I was like, oh, okay, that's a good thing to have. That's a good reaction to have watching a talent show.
Now let's have a little chat about Cameron. Okay, let's talk about Cameron's look.
Hate.
It's lazy. It's lazy.
Well, I hate it. I absolutely think it's horrible, and I'm glad they went home. I do. This look.
Now that we've knocked off the sugar coating, let's get to the real feelings.
What about a cheerleading outfit is funny?
Well, also, it doesn't... Okay, let me try to think about this.
And then the shoes.
It doesn't make sense. Like, I feel like Kane wore the dunce cap, which is like a reference to comedy.
But it was also fashion. It was
also fashion. But this, I don't know if he's wearing this because he thinks
it's funny.
Wearing a skirt is funny.
Or if it was just a look, or like it's like a slutty schoolgirl. I don't know.
It didn't make sense. Maybe I'm really grasping at straws here, but maybe he was like, I'm being a mean girl at school. Cheerleaders are mean girls. I'm reaching here. Yeah. This look did not work. It didn't work for the number. No. It doesn't work as a look. The shoes There is no black literally anywhere in this outfit except your tattoos. Like, this is not a good look.
It's not a good look.
Everyone knows cheerleaders wear white shoes. Everyone knows cheerleaders wear white shoes. This is like, anyone knows that.
Maybe it was just like supposed to be like a slut look. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like.
So there was, in the roast, there were some funny jokes, but at one point I was like, Mama.
Where's the hook?
It's time.
Cue the music. Yeah, it was. Well, it's one of those things where if you have so much material, you need to really pick and choose what are gonna be the zingers and stick to those and really make sure those are like gorgeous and packaged and like present those select few. Because you gotta edit. There were some good moments in there, but it did just get like mean.
It got mean. At some point, it's just mean.
Well, you can throw in one mean one. You know what I mean? Like, you can give me ha ha ha, he, me. You know, do a sandwich. Give me like lighthearted good laughs, mean, lighthearted good laughs. But it just got more mean as it went.
Yeah, this sandwich, there was no bread on the other end of the sandwich. It was just a bunch of
open
meat.
Face.
Yeah. Now we gotta talk about Gustavo.
God bless his heart.
Okay, everyone else is enamored by how like mask hot he is, and I mean, muscle guys aren't my thing. I can see it's not lost on me. It's not. I can see. I would not kick Gustavo out of bed for eating cake or whatever he was eating, but this performance, Bag of Chips, and in my opinion, the Destroyers and Bag of Chips were being way too nice about this performance.
Well, I don't want to say. I'm trying to not be super mean.
Well, I mean, you said you're glad Cameron went home, and now you want to be nice.
Well, that was about fashion, and this is just about someone's IQ. I just don't think they're the sharpest cookie in the bunch. You know what I mean? It's just like it's very. You glued 2 green earrings on your nipples, and you thought that was enough. You know, it's not enough for me.
Well, I feel okay. First of all, let me just go out a couple of things. If you're gonna go on a TV show and you're competing, I think honestly, the easiest garment to make is an apron. You could make a custom apron. This is a store-bought apron. Let's call a spade a spade. Well, I will say this, in Gustavo's defense, up until this point, Gustavo is actually doing the best in the competition. Gustavo's won 2 challenges. Gustavo is the only person to have 2 challenge wins. I just think that those were challenges where Gustavo could really excel, and Gustavo had seen partners who were great. This is Gustavo's first time going at it alone. Mm-hmm. This is his first time not having a partner on stage with him, and he's just out of his element. I don't want to say clearly, but from what I'm seeing, it seems like he is not a performer.
But it just feels like it was also a bit lazy. And that's what it is for me, is like just the lack of creativity, the lack of effort. Give me like just
I would have actually taken all, like maybe if he had like a box and he put all the ingredients in the box and then pulled the cake out as if he made it on stage, and then pulled the cake out, and you said it while we were watching. Why would you? First of all, I kept thinking, why would you put cake? Okay,
on your underwear. Well,
yeah, I'm like cheeks.
Well, I'm like, where there better be a thong underneath these boxer briefs. Like, where, like, that would be funny if you kept pulling off underwear and you had more underwear under. You know what I mean? Like, and then the chocolate. Why chocolate? Of all the cakes in the world,
to rub on
to rub all over your ass. Why would you choose chocolate?
Rubbing cake on your bare body, sexy. Rubbing cake on your garment, upsetting.
Well, not that garment, really.
Yeah, upsetting. For me, the quote of the day is from Cameron, and it is this one.
Kane's actually being funny, and that's annoying.
I mean, that is something. This thing, Cameron's one of the folks who is funny
without
by
trying.
Personality, but not through. And I think that because he's been told that you're funny through personality, that means I'll be funny on the microphone, and it does not always work that way. You know what I mean?
It definitely doesn't work that way. We have seen that time and time again. I will say there is he is nice to look at. Like, I don't really care for this look, but there's something about it that is very nice.
It's him. It's him. He's pretty.
He's pretty.
It's because he is pretty.
He's pretty.
Now, comment below, whose look do you think is the best out of all of these? In terms of looks, for me, I feel like I'm a Nicki Monet stan. Like every single thing, I'm like Nicki Monet, Nicki Monet, Nicki Monet.
You really are.
But she brought it this episode. Like but besides that hideous hat, she really fucking brought it this episode. So who do you all think? Comment below. Now, the lip ceremony today is a little bit different. So this time in the lip ceremony, instead of having everyone lined up, they all come in and sit down one by one. This is also a moment, this is where we separate the kids from the adults for me. The fact that like when Kane came and sat down, he was still in his look, or when Nikki came and sat down, she like elevated her look with this
You're
coat.
still giving.
But when Gustavo came, he was in jeans and he was literally dressed to go home.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, he might as well have rolled in with a suitcase.
Well, even the posture, he's sort of hunched over, hands
It's like he's at the
folded.
principal's office.
Yeah, it is. It's like, and the other ones are sort of like bad bitches, like leaning back, giving lines. Like he knew it was time to go.
I mean, the only thing more uncomfortable than him is Matthew Camp on stage at any point in time.
Oh my God.
So,
Bless his heart. Was there a teleprompter? I mean, there had to be.
I don't know. And I feel like, I mean, Tyrese, for me, also, based on what they're wearing, I have no clue what the weather is. I don't know if it's cold. I don't know if it's hot. I'm seeing hoodies. I'm seeing nipples. I'm seeing, I literally have no clue.
I feel like it's cold. It's definitely got to be cold. Because I think the people who are naked are just performing.
Hoes.
They're
And hoes don't get cold.
Hoes don't get cold. And then the people that are going, no, it's cold.
Okay, Rebecca really was like, Gustavo, you were talented, you were beautiful, you've done a fantastic job, and you're going home. I was like, she set him up.
I love the dynamic between the two of them because it seems like Rebecca is she'll even be like, no, Sophie, and then really like lay into the contestants, which I really love that about her. I get they're trying to sort of let them down gently, I think, with the compliment going home, which it just kind of gives comedy, honestly, because there's no critique.
Yeah.
Because there's no critique. They're like, we love you so much, and we have decided that you are going home. And there's
it's not for us.
There's no critique at all. So they have no idea why they're going home. You know what I mean?
After it's all been said and done, the Destroyers have decided to send home Cameron and Gustavo, and I personally agree.
100%.
I think that was the right choice.
Agree, 100%.
Who do you think should have won this cabaret? If there was a winner, who should have won?
I think that Tyrese, knowing that they redid their number the morning of, and I think I was the most I had the best reactions when they were performing. Whether it was the legs opening and not really knowing who it was, whether it was the jump split, whether it was the set coming crashing down, or whatever it may be, I feel like that was the most, it was giving me the most.
For me, it would have been Nikki. I thought that Nikki's performance had so many great elements. The custom costume, I can't get over the cartwheel to topless. It literally happened so fast. I didn't even realize how it happened. I looked up and then there were just tits in my face. And I was like, oh my God, this is phenomenal. And also love that. I love an old school front flip onto the stage. I know Tyrese did one too, but Nikki did it first. So I saw her do it first. And I just thought that everything about her number was just, except that hat, I hated the hat. But everything else about her number was just mwah. All right, so here's my last question. My final question to you is this. Based on what you see in this episode, who do you think deserves to win this entire season?
For me, it's Tyrese. I think they gave the best show. I think they had good drama, but squashed it and kind of spoke openly and freely and seemed genuine. They seemed the most confident, around the Destroyers, around the other contestants. They seemed comfortable in their skin. And I think this is something that Rebecca and Sophie sort of touched on, just being representation for non-binary people. And also, not just that, but that combined with the confidence and the ability that's being displayed, and also just navigating in the house with the other contestants and carrying themselves in a way that I think is graceful and dignified, but also like sex positive and elegant. And I think out of everyone, they sort of got the whole thing going on.
And there you have it. There, the queen has said herself. Who do you all think is going to win next week in the finale? Please comment below who you think is going to win. And you can also tag me on Twitter. We will be chatting about it. Thank you so much, Violet, for joining me on episode 3 of First Impressions. And I want to thank you at home for watching. Now, join us next week is the finale. Next week is the very last episode. We already saw in the clip there are some tears. There was a siren.
Sirens, mama. You know they just throw that in there to you don't know what's going to happen. Hospitalization.
All right, so thank you everyone for joining us.